In this topic, we will, or in this question, we will discuss two topics. First one is pricing, especially the important area of the pricing. There are two important areas of the pricing. First one is how to calculate the optimum price where our profit will be maximum. And the second one is optimum quantity where we will have a maximum profit. In this question, examiner did not focus only on the optimal pricing and optimal quantity, but he also used the learning curve theory or learning curve concept to determine this value. So we will follow the concept of learning curve as well while solving relevant workings, and we will understand that whenever examiner will use learning curve in any question, in any long question, how to use this. I shared one of the recordings with you last week after the class, which was relevant with the big cheese chairs. It was relevant with learning curve theory and as well as target costing. I hope you guys have attempted that question. You listened that recording. If you could not manage time in the last week, I will suggest you to listen that recording as well during this week before moving to the next topic. You must be very accurate whenever you are attempting learning curve, because whenever learning curve is part of the section C question or part of the long question for 20 marks, it can affect your calculations and it can affect your total marks, because purpose of the learning curve is to calculate total number of hours in that particular question. On the basis of that hours, you will calculate your total labor cost. On the basis of total labor cost, you will calculate your total cost. And if you are asked to calculate the price, so on the basis of total cost, you will add profit margin and you will determine your price. So if your learning curve or if your hours are incorrect, it means your labor cost will be incorrect. It means your total cost will be incorrect. It means your price will be incorrect. So one mistake will lead you to the four mistakes. So be careful with such type of topics or such type of formulas which are not asked by the examiner in isolation, which are relevant with the other values and other calculations. So you need to be careful whenever dealing with such type of questions, such type of workings or such type of concepts, and make sure that you are comfortable with such type of workings and you can attempt these learning curve MCQs or questions either in the section B, either in the section C quite comfortably, and your workings must be correct. So now I am going to start the reading of this question, TR company. I will explain the different things during the reading of this question. I will write a few points as well where needed, and we will solve this whole question, that how to attempt a complete 20 marks question of pricing and learning curve both. Any question, any related to any part of learning curve or anything? Okay. PR company is a pharmaceutical company which researches, develops and manufactures a wide range of drugs. One of these drugs, parapain, is a pain relief drug used for the treatment of headaches, and until the last month, PR company had a patent on the parapain which prevented other companies from manufacturing it. So until the last month, PR company had the patent. Until the last month, PR company did not face the competition in parapain. But now the time period of the patent has expired. Now there will be new entrants in the market. New competitors will come into the market and they will offer the same medicine or same drug, and it is also possible that they will offer the similar medicine or drug at a reduced price. So now TR company has no more competitive advantage in this area or if, relevant with this medicine which is called Parapay. Clear? The patent has now expired and several competitors has already entered the market with similar versions of the paraffin, which are made using the same active ingredients. PR company is reviewing its pricing policy in the light of changing market. It has carried out some market research in an attempt to establish an optimum price for the paraffin. The research has established for every $2 decrease in price, demand would be expected to increase by 5,000 batches. This is basically called B. It is the relationship between the price and the demand. We are saying that if there will be decrease of $2 in the price, there will be an increase of 5,000 batches. It means if there will be increase of $2 in price, there will be a decrease of 5,000 batches. So this is called what? This is called B. B stands for change in price divided by change in demand, with maximum demand for paraffin being 1 million batches. So he has provided you with the maximum demand, that maximum demand of the paraffin could be 1 million. Each batch of the paraffin currently made using the following materials. Material is always what? It is always a variable cost. Materials at 500 grams at a 10.10 per gram. Material Y 300 grams at 0.50 per gram. One thing I would like to explain you over here. At times in the exam, examiner will provide you the quantity of material in grams, but he will provide you price per kg. So what you need to do, you need to convert your grams into per number of kgs. But here there is no need to convert it to kgs because prices are given in grams. Similarly, at times examiner will provide you a number of minutes needed to produce one unit. But rather than giving or providing per unit labor rate, he will provide you per hour labor rate. So you need to convert your minutes into labor hours. Similarly, if any information is provided into in centimeters, you need to convert them into meters. So remember this thing. You need to equate the measurement unit of your consumption and measurement unit of your cost. But here in this question, measurement unit of the consumption is grams and the price is also provided on per gram basis. So there is no need of any adjustment. Right, everyone? Then he says each batch of paraffin requires 20 minutes. As I told you that now we have minutes of machine time to make, and the variable running cost of the machine time are $6 per hour. This time we will convert minutes into hours, and it is relevant with the machine time. And further he says that variable running cost, it means it is representing variable overheads. Do not confuse it with your labor cost. Here we are using machine. So whenever machine time is given or machine time is provided in the question on per unit basis, it means it is variable overheads or direct expenses. It is not the labor cost. Labor cost is usually determined on the basis of labor hours. The fixed production overhead is expected to $2 per batch for the period based on the budgeted production level of 250,000 batches. So we can calculate total fixed production overheads by multiplying 250,000 batches with $2 per batch. $2 per batch is basically what? It is basically overhead absorption rate per batch, and 250,000 batches is what? So 250,000 batches is your activity level or budgeted activity level. Right, everyone? Any question? Then he says the skilled worker who have been working on paraffin until now are being moved on to the production of TR company, new and unique anti-malaria drug which cost millions of dollars to develop. TR company has obtained a patent for this revolutionary drug and it is expected to save millions of lives. So this time TR company has patent for which product? For this medicine which is called new medicine, anti-malaria medicine. Now they will face no competition until the expiry of the patents. They can use this or sell this medicine quite easily in the market because they are the only sellers in the market. No other similar drug exists, and while demand level are unknown, we currently don't know the maximum level of demand. The launch of the drug eagerly anticipated all over the world. Agency staff who were completely new to the production of the parapain and cost $18 per hour. Now this is the cost of the labor cost will be brought into the produce parapain for the foreseeable future. Experience has shown there will be a significant learning curve involved in making parapain as it is extremely difficult to handle. First batch of parapain made using one of the agency workers took 5 hours to make. So we have learned in the learning curve that wherever we use the learning curve, we always start from the first batch. So time for the first batch is 5 hours. However, it is believed that 80% learning curve exists in relation to the production of the drugs, and this will continue until the first 1000 batches have been completed. So he says that till 1000 batches your learning curve will continue. When you have reached to the 1000 batches, after this learning curve will not work, or learning curve will not remain relevant. So we have already studied that whenever learning curve is discontinued or where learning curve is stopped, what will we do? We will calculate the average and total hours of 1000 units. Then we will calculate average and total hours for the 999 units. Then we will calculate the difference between these two total hours, which is called what? Time for the 1000th unit where learning curve has discontinued. So this is what which we will solve here. Then he says that PR company management has said that any pricing decision about parapain should be based on the time it takes to make 1000 batch of the drug. So they made a base of 1000 batches. And they are not talking about more than 1000 batches. The learning coefficient B is minus 0.321928. This time learning curve index or learning coefficient is provided in the question. It is basically what? It is basically B, which we used to calculate, where B is equal to log of learning curve divided by log of 2. But now you don't need to do this. There is no need to calculate log of 0.8 divided by log of 2, because you have a B value of B, or you are provided with this value of B. Most of the times now, since last number of years, examiner is generous in section C question that he calculates B on his own. But might be if he is asking learning curve question in section A or section B in MCQ, then it is expected that he will ask you to calculate by yourself. Calculate the optimum or profit maximizing selling price for the parapain, and whenever you have and in the question, it means it is the second part of the question, and the resulting annual profit which TR will make for charging this price. Note that where if P is equal to A minus BQ, then MR is equal to A minus 2BQ. So now we will attempt these first 12 marks. We will discuss this equation. We will discuss learning curve. We will calculate the price. We will calculate the value. And along with this, these working, we are discussing the use of formulas. First of all, I would like to write the formula of pricing. This of pricing is basically called profit maximization, profit maximization equation or profit maximizing equation. What is the profit maximizing equation? Profit maximizing equation is basically MR is equal to MC. Now what does it mean? MR stands for marginal revenue. Whenever we say MR, MR means marginal revenue. Now what does it mean? What is the meaning of marginal revenue? Marginal revenue means additional revenue from the sale of one additional unit. Addition in total revenue from the sale of one additional unit. This is called marginal revenue. Then we have marginal cost. MC stands for what? MC stands for marginal cost. Now what is the meaning of marginal cost? Marginal cost also have the same meaning. Addition in the total cost due to the production of one additional unit. Or marginal cost is also called variable production cost per unit. We can say addition in total cost due to production of one additional unit. Alternatively, marginal cost means variable production cost per unit. Now what is this variable production cost per unit? Variable production cost per unit is equal to direct material plus direct labor plus direct expenses. So we need to solve these things. We need to calculate like variable production cost per unit. Then we can calculate the other relevant figures like MR, like what would be the optimum pricing, what would be the optimum quantity. First thing we discuss that price profit maximizing equation, and this is profit maximizing equation. Now, how to solve this profit maximizing equation? Step number one is any question related to these values or these descriptions? Okay. So step number one is P is equal to A minus B Q. Now we will describe this formula, what is meant by P, what is A, what is B, and what is Q. In step number one, P stands for current selling price per unit. In the given question, current selling price per unit, we will say what is the current selling price per unit. A stands for what? A is selling price where demand will be 0. So in step number one, you will basically calculate this value. So I am denoting this value with the question mark. In step number one, you will solve what? In step number one, you will calculate your A, where demand will be 0. B is equal to change in price divided by change in demand. The change in price is what? Change in price is like if $2 and change in demand is 5,000. So this is called B. Change in price divided by change in demand. And then Q, in step number one, Q stands for current sales quantity. Suppose in any question you are provided with production quantity as well, do not confuse yourself with the production quantity. We will use here what? We will use here sales quantity. So this is our step number one. In step number one, suppose if any value like P or Q, whatever the value is not provided, then you will treat this value as 0. If value is not provided in the question, either for P, either for Q, then you will use what? Then you will use 0 at this place. This is the step number one. Then what is the step number two? Step number two is basically a very important step, although all the steps are very important. Step number two is equal to MR is equal to MC. Now we have an equation of MR which is given in the question as well. So MR is basically replaced by what? MR is replaced by its equation. At the MR we will write A minus 2BQ. So MR is replaced by what? MR is replaced by A minus 2BQ is equal to MC is replaced by what? MC is replaced by variable production cost per unit. So we will replace MC with this value. So in given scenario, we are required to calculate variable production cost first. From part A, we will calculate, from step number one, we will calculate the value of A. Value of B will remain the same, change in price divided by change in demand. In step number two, we are basically finding what? We are basically finding Q. And this Q denotes what? This Q denotes optimal or profit maximizing quantity. Whenever we use the word of optimal, it means what? It means profit maximizing, right? Understood? This is the step number two. In step number two, you will calculate what? You will calculate the value of Q. And then you will solve step number three. Step three is once again the same equation. P is equal to A minus BQ. But this time what will we solve? This time we have the value of A, we determine step number one. We have the value of Q, which we determined the step number two. We have value of B, which is change in price divided by change in demand. So now we are calculating price. And this price is called what? In step number one, we were saying that P is equal to current selling price per unit. But here price means optimal selling price per unit. So this is the main concept of MR is equal to MC or profit maximization, where you will follow these three steps and then you can calculate further, or you can calculate your optimal selling price or optimal quantity. Any question related to these three steps? Okay, now we will move further, and now we will calculate the variable production cost per unit first of all, because without calculating variable production cost per unit we cannot move, and we will also calculate the value of B. Whatever the data is provided in the question, we will calculate those values for step number 1 and step number 2. Apart from A, we will see what is the maximum price, what is the current price, and what is the current quantity. I told you if current price or current quantity is missing in the question, it means this value is denoted by 0. So first of all, we will calculate variable production cost per unit. Although variable production cost per unit and other values must be solved as working at the end, but we are solving here and we will solve the final answer at the end. There is no issue when we are doing practice here. Even if you are in the exam, you are solving your answer correctly, you will get the appropriate marks. So first of all, what will we do? We will calculate variable production cost per unit. It does not mean I am saying you that the presentation does not matter. Presentation matters, but when you are solving in Excel or you are using Microsoft Word, in this case, more than presentation, accuracy is more important, because you are not writing with your handwriting, which could be bad or it can affect your presentation. Variable production cost per unit will start from where? Variable production cost per unit will start from the material Z, which is provided in the question. So we will start from material Z. In question, he says that 500 grams are needed. 500 into what? 0.1 gram is the price. So $50 is the answer. Then we have material Y. For material Y, he says that 300 grams and it is multiplied with 0.5. So you have 150. Then we have variable overheads, which is provided as machine time. Variable overhead is equal to, now it is 20 minutes. As I told you that we will convert these minutes into hours. So 20 divided by 60 multiplied with what? Multiplied with 6, which is machine time per hour. So we have variable overheads of $2. Next is to calculate labor cost. Any question related to material Z, Y, or variable overheads? Okay. So now we will calculate the labor cost, but we cannot solve or calculate labor cost directly. We have to follow the steps of learning curve, because here he says that when you will reach at the level of 1000 unit, your learning curve will remain discontinued. So first of all, we will calculate average hours and total hours for 1000 units. Y is equal to time for first unit. What is the time for first unit? Time for first unit is, or time for first batch is basically 5. So time for first batch is 5 into learning curve will remain discontinued where at 1000 raised to power learning coefficient minus 0.321 is provided here, minus 0.321928. So now you can calculate, I have mentioned here. So now you can solve it. Like if I would like to solve it separately, although we can solve as one equation, but if we solve it now like it, 1000 raised to power minus 0.321928, and then we can multiply this value with 5. So your average hours at 1000 units are what? 0.540 per unit. This is average hour basically what? This is average hour basically per batch, because learning curve will discontinue at the level of 1000th batch. Any question related to this value? Now you will calculate your total hours for 1000 batches. Total hours is equal to this multiplied by 1000. So you have what? You have total hours at the level of 1000, which are 540. Done, everyone? I hope you are solving side by side. Then calculate average hours and total hours 1 unit prior to the 1000 level. So y is equal to same time for first batch into 999 raised to power minus 0.321928. Whenever learning curve discontinue at a certain activity level, we will calculate average hours and total hours 1 unit prior to the activity level where learning curve is discontinued. So once again we are solving 999 raised to power minus 0.321928, and then you can multiply with 5. Although you can solve it at once, we have 0.54116 time for per batch. Now remember one thing, I am solving each and everything into parts because I am trying to make sure that you will not make any mistakes in the actual exams. Solve it again. You must have the same answer because your answer for 1000 batch was 0.56, 0.45968. So for 99, it will be uh, in the decimals. Now you can calculate total hours. Total hours is what? This multiplied with 999. It is 540.6191. And now we will calculate the time for 1000th. It is called 1000th. Time for 1000th batch. So we will calculate time for 1000 batch. How to calculate? This value minus this value. So this is the time for what? This is the time for 1000th batch. 0.366887. Any question related to this working? Now we have the time for 1000 batch, and in question he told us that you will use the data up till 1000 units. So now we can calculate our labor cost. This time for each batch is multiplied with labor rate per hour. Labor rate per hour is provided here in the question 18. So you can multiply with 18. Now you have the labor cost. So now you have what? Now you have the total variable production cost per unit, which is 208.604. You have calculated your variable production cost per unit. Any question related to variable production cost per unit? Okay, so now we have a break for 7 minutes. After this break, we will continue. We have calculated variable production cost per batch up till here. I would like to correct this one. It is variable production cost per batch. So now we will calculate our optimal selling price, which is P, and as well as we will calculate optimal sales quantity, which is Q, by using these formulas or these steps. Step number one is P is equal to A minus BQ. Step one, current price. Now in the question, current price is not provided. I told you that if current price is not provided in the question, you will use zero, right? Current price is replaced by zero is equal to A. We are required to calculate A in step number one. A is the price where demand will be zero minus B. B is the change in price divided by change in demand. We have change in price $2 and change in demand by 5,000 batches. So change in price 2 is divided by change in demand 5,000. Multiplied with what? Multiplied with Q, current quantity. He says that 1 million is the expected demand or current quantity of the new drug which is relevant with the anti-malaria. So we will use what? We will use 1 million as current quantity. So first of all, you need to solve this equation. I can place A here is equal to 0. If I replace 0 here, you will get nothing. Or I can replace this equation here. Whatever you do, you will get the correct answer. 2 by 5,000 multiplied with 1 million. So the value of A is 400. Any question regarding the value of A? There was no P, so here it is denoted by 0. Current price is 0. A is the max price where demand will be 0. So A is replacing 0 here and 0 is replacing A on the right hand side of the equation. So 0 means nothing, minus minus becomes plus. Then we solve this equation, 2 divided by 5,000 into 1 million. So we have A where demand will be 0. 400 is the price. Any question? Okay, now we will do what? Now we will solve step number 2. Where MR is equal to MC. So now we will replace MR with MR is basically what? A minus 2BQ. A minus 2BQ. So A is now what? 400 minus 2 is the constant. B, you know, it's 2 by 5,000. And we need to determine Q, which is the maximum or optimal demand, is equal to variable production cost per batch. We have calculated this. It is 208.604. So now you will make mathematical arrangements to solve this equation. First, I would like to solve the value of B, which is mentioned over here, 2 divided by 5,000. So I am calculating B here. to avoid this calculation again and again, B is equal to 2 divided by 5000, which means 0.0004. So I can write 0.0004 here rather than to write 2 divided by 5000 time and again. So now you can solve this equation. How to solve this equation? First I will write minus 2 into 0.0004 multiplied with Q, but here we have what? But here we have we will adjust the values of 400 and 208 first. It is 0.0008 Q, and then it is equal to what? Is equal to, you can switch 400 from left hand side to right hand side. If you will bring here, then 208.604 minus 400. So it is 191.396. Next, you can solve Q. Q is equal to this value divided by this value. So the optimal quantity is 239,245 units. Right, everyone? Any question? 400 is A, minus 2 is the constant. Value of B is 0.0004. Then we have the Q optimal quantity which needs to be determined is equal to variable production cost per unit 208.604. Then we quoted this value minus 2 into 0.0004, which is minus 0.0008 Q, and then we deduct 400 or deduct 208.604 from 400, because when 400 will come here, it will be in negative. And then we calculated the Q, and the maximum quantity or optimal quantity is basically 239 to 45. Your A is what? Your A is 400. Now you can solve your step number 3. Your step number 3 is basically relevant with optimum price. So P is equal to A is 400 minus B is 0.0004 into Q is 239, 245. So now you will solve this value of P. P is equal to, you can put the whole formula here, 400 minus 0.0004 multiplied with 239, 245. So the price is 304.302. This is the optimal selling price or profit maximizing price. Any question related to this? There could be some value of like 4, 5 numbers. Suppose your quantity is my quantity is 239, 245, because I am using the variable cost 208.604. May be possible if your decimals are greater than this value, your Q could be slightly different. Your Q could be 239, 248, or maybe possible your Q could be 239, 250. It does not mean you are incorrect or I am incorrect. We are solving the correct values. There could be difference in the value just because of the decimals. Any question related to these values? So we have solved the half of part A, where he says that calculate the profit maximizing selling price of para bale. But further he says that calculate the resulting annual profit which TR will make from charging this price. So now we will do what? We will calculate the profit. We will calculate the value of profit. Profit statement. Profit statement always starts from sales revenue. So first of all, you will calculate sales revenue, and sales revenue is equal to what? Sales revenue is equal to your base price, which is 304.302 optimum selling price, multiplied with what? Multiplied with your optimal quantity. So you have a sales revenue of 7280273. Then you will deduct the variable cost. Variable cost, it is equal to what? We have already determined the variable cost of 208.604, multiplied with what? Multiplied with number of units, Q, 239 to 45. So you have a variable cost of 49. Then we have fixed overheads. For fixed overheads, he says that your overhead absorption rate per batch is 2. This is provided here. And your maximum production level is 250,000 batches. So 2 multiplied with 250,000. So here we have fixed overheads of $500,000. Any question related to these values? No other cost is provided in the question, so we can calculate the profit. Is equal to revenue minus variable cost minus fixed cost. So this value is our profit. Any question related to this value? So we are done with part A, where we need to calculate calculate our three values. First one is optimum selling price, second one is optimum quantity, third one is the value of profit. So this is the optimum quantity, this is the optimum selling price, and this was the requirement of the question to calculate value of profit. Right, everyone? Any question? Okay. Now we will move on to the B part. Discuss and recommend whether the market penetration or market skimming would be the most suitable pricing strategy for TR when launching the new anti-malaria drug. Now, what is the difference between these two strategies? First, you need to understand market penetration, or it is alternatively called price penetration. Market penetration or price penetration means whenever you are launching a product for the first time in the market, you are determining the lowest possible price of the product. Why are you determining the lowest possible price of the product? Because you want to penetrate your product in the market. You want to increase the market share of your product. That is why you are charging low price of your product. But it is possible, or it is relevant with the consumer goods or necessities of life. Consumer goods could be the detergent, cooking oil, coffee, black tea, or number of items are called consumer goods, clothing, shoes, which we use on daily basis. Such type of companies always enter with the low price in the market. First, they try to attract market share as much as they can, After the attraction of the market share, then they will start to increase the price to satisfy the uh, needs of the shareholder, which is to maximize profit. But initially, they will start with the low price or lowest possible price. If they will charge slightly higher price for such type of products, they will not be able to attract the required market share or number of customers. So we can say that market penetration is or price penetration is highly elastic, where there will be slight increase in the selling price can reduce our demand, or slight reduction in the selling price can increase our demand. So this is the concept of the market penetration. I would like to write the answer here. You can view and you can note. It is the concept where a company is charging low price at the time of launching a new product, because nature of product is consumer good, by charging low price initially, company will be able to attract high volume of sales. So we can say market penetration or price penetration is highly elastic. This is called what? This is called market penetration. Remember this very word, highly elastic. Examiner can ask such type of question in the exam, in the section A MCQ, that either the market penetration or price penetration is highly elastic. Highly elastic means what? Slight change in the price will affect the demand with huge quantity. Highly elastic means slight change in price will affect the demand significantly. It is always greater than 1. Greater than 1 means change in demand will be greater than the change in price. Greater than 1 means change in demand is greater than change in price. So this is called what? This is called market penetration or price penetration. Any question? Okay, now next we have market skimming. What is meant by market skimming? Market skimming is basically the approach where a company is going to charge high prices at the time of launching of their product. Market skimming is more relevant with the technology products, or it is relevant with the fashion products, or it is relevant with any kind of those products which can face expiry or obsolescence. So where there is a chance of obsolescence, company would try to charge maximum possible price at the time of launching, or company would charge maximum possible price at the beginning. So it is possible for the company to charge the high price or maximum possible price at the beginning, which will increase their profitability, it will increase their sales volume, and it will also maintain their market share, because most of the customers, those who want to purchase new product, new technology, new computer or new laptop or new mobile phone or new computer game, they will be ready to purchase the new version at the higher price. So this is called what? This is called market skimming. You can charge high price at the time of launching, which will maximize your revenue and profitability. And gradually, when there will be decrease in the demand of that product, company will be able to reduce their price. Or as soon as company will face competition in the market, company will be able to reduce their price. So this is called what? This is called market skimming. So here we can say that it is the pricing strategy where company will charge high price at the time of at the time of launching a new product. It is basically relevant with technology products or fashions or all those products which can obsolete after certain short period of time, like within 1 year, within 2 years. Company can maximize its profitability and revenue before new entrants in the market or before beginning of the competition in the market. So you are charging high price, but still people are or customers are purchasing your product. It means this product is less elastic or inelastic. So demand for such type of products will be inelastic in beginning. Here I am also going to add the word of beginning. In beginning. So here we are facing inelastic demand. People are buying if the new laptop is expensive. People are buying if new iPhone is expensive in their own currency, or most of the people, or those who can afford, or people who want to carry the new mobile, they will definitely carry this one, or they will try to purchase. So market skimming means what? Market skimming means you are basically charging what? You are charging the highest possible price at the time of launching of product. You are trying to maximize your revenue and your profitability. So that is why you charge high prices. You know that people are ready to purchase new fashion or new technology at the time of launching. So they are ready to pay higher price. At this point of time, you will not face any kind of competition, or you will not face any kind of price war or price competition. So that is why it is called what? It is called inelastic, right? Any question? Next, we can explain the, or we can write the definition of inelastic. Inelastic means reduction in demand will be less than increase in price, or vice versa. Normally, we say that if you will increase the price, you have to face the decrease in demand. But in the price skimming or market skimming, this theory does not work in the similar way. In fact, you will not face the reduction in demand if there is increase in price. So this is called what? This is called inelastic. Now I am coming back to this part. He says that what is suitable for the TR. I have explained everything for these 8 marks. So now after this explanation, he says that what is suitable for the TR company for anti-malaria medicine or drug. We have studied that in the question, anti-malaria is offered by just TR company. No other company has the patent of the anti-malaria. So it is easy for the company to do what? It is easy for the company to charge high prices when they are launching anti-malaria during the period of the patent time period. When the patent expires, then they can reduce their prices, because then they will face competition, just like the parapain, which was their previous patent medicine, right? So at the end, we can say TR company should charge high price for anti-malaria drug during the patent time. After end of patent duration, they would have to reduce their prices, their price due to competition. Why should they charge high prices? Because they have incurred millions of dollars on the research. So they can recover their research cost by charging high prices at the beginning. PR company can recover its research cost by charging high prices at the beginning or during patent time period. Okay, done everyone? Understood? Difference between market skimming or market penetration and why TR company should charge this one. At the end, we can say for Parapain, they have to follow the market penetration because now they are facing competition. Although he did not ask in the question regarding the Parapain, but just to communicate the concept to you guys, I am writing here for Parapain, TR company should follow market penetration because now they are facing high competition. Done? Any question related to these concepts? Okay. One of the student is asking something. Yes, you can see this variable cost. It is 208.604 into what? Into 239, 245. I did not wrote the figure of 239, 235. I used the cell reference R30. Done? Any further question? Anyone else? Any question? So we are done with what? We are done with the market penetration, market pricing, use of learning curve. Apart from these two methods or these two pricing strategies, we can use other pricing strategies as well. For example, you can suggest premium pricing. If question asks you what could be the other pricing strategies, you can ask, you can suggest premium pricing. Premium pricing is again the same, you are charging high prices. Or you can suggest loss leader. Loss leader is the one who will initially launch its product at lower price than the cost. Then you can suggest like volume discounting. If a customer will place a high volume, then they will get the reduced prices. So it is also a strategy. Then we have a strategy of price where we say total cost plus profit. So we will add profit margin or profit markup in the total cost to determine the selling price. So it is another approach of charging the sale price. So we can use what? We can use market penetration, we can use market skimming, we can offer or we can use premium pricing, we can use loss leader pricing, we can use multi volume discounting, we can use total cost plus profit markup or margin. These are the normal pricing strategies which are followed by the company. Apart from this, we can offer complementary pricing. Complementary pricing is the one where customers are purchasing two products all together. We are offering a package or we are offering a price for two products in one package. If they suppose if one product is for $10 and the other product is separately for $18, we say that if you will buy two products at in one package, we will charge $15. So rather than charging $18, we will charge $15. We will giving you a discount of $3. This is called complementary pricing. A few customers, those who purchase two products at once. This is called complementary pricing. You can charge a price which is relevant with the product range pricing. We can call it a product range pricing. Suppose if you are selling electronic goods, you can offer a package at a reduced price. It is more or less same like complementary pricing, that where we are determining the lowest possible price when customers will purchase number of relevant items or number of relevant goods in one order. So we are trying to sell as much as units we can at a reduced price, which will increase our cash flow, which will increase our sales volume, but as well as it will give benefit to the consumer or customer, and customer will be able to purchase the maximum units or maximum product at the lowest possible price. Right, everyone? Any question? Okay, so it is enough for today.